الحمد لله حمدا موافيا لنعمه مكافيا لمزيده والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وجنوده. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما. Respected viewers, respected brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah, it's a very big blessing and a very great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us that we have had the opportunity this year once again to come to the masjid. In Arabic the saying goes, النِّعْمَةُ إِذَا فُقِدَتْ عُرِفَتْ, that the blessing, when it is lost, then it is appreciated. That's when it's valued, it's recognized. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with so many blessings, we don't even know the blessings. But when you lose that thing, you realize, oh, I wish I had that. So this is how much blessing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with. And unfortunately, last year, as we are aware, we went through a period when our masajid were closed, when the madrasas were closed. Children had to maybe learn online in some cases they couldn't do that, the masajid couldn't facilitate this. And unfortunately, many people were in a way deprived from those blessings of the connection that we have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month through the masjid. So I'm not trying to say that people couldn't connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. But the masjid, which is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends, unfortunately, we didn't have this chance last year. Alhamdulillah, this year, yes, we've got restrictions. It's not easy standing up for Taraweeh Salah with a mask on the whole way through. But Alhamdulillah, we still should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us this opportunity to come to the masjid. And from a personal level, as an imam in my locality in Coventry and where I work in Leicester, I met many people who have told me this firsthand directly, that they weren't very attached to the masjid pre-COVID time. They would go to the masjid maybe for Jumu'ah, even they used to pray at work, a lot of them. So maybe if they were at home on leave, they'd pray their Jumu'ah in the masjid. In Ramadan, first few days, yes, in the masjid. Last 10 days, yes, in the middle, kind of die down. And then Eid, they definitely turn up. And that was it, that's the only connection they had with the masjid. And I remember them telling me, I remember one brother specifically telling me in the office that, now the masajid are closed, I feel really upset, even though I didn't used to go. So he understood the value of that blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given us, the opportunity He had given us, but at that time it was too late. Alhamdulillah, now we've actually seen a surge in some of our masajid of youngsters coming to the masjid. Why? Because they realized that they didn't have that connection that they ought to have had pre-COVID. So in a way, this COVID scenario has become a blessing as well for some people. It's opened people's eyes. And in the verse that I mentioned, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, it's a verse we all know, we all recite daily in our salah. We might not open the Quran daily, but if we pray our salah, we're definitely reciting this verse in Surah Al-Fatiha. And we recite this in every rak'ah, every unit, every rakat of our salah as well. And we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His guidance. Okay, so when we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His guidance, what do we need to understand? So we're telling Allah, oh Allah, guide me on the straight path. So think of it simply as a person needs to get, I'll give you my example. I've traveled from Leicester today, so after the Taraweeh Salah, I'm going back to Leicester. So I'm in Sheffield, I need to get to Leicester, that's my destination. I still need to follow the M1 South. If I take any detours that won't link to the M1 South and go somewhere else, or if I take the M1 North, for example, I'm not going to get to my destination. So we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us on that path, the path that He has told us of in the Quran, the path that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has described to us in the hadith. That is our straight path. And that is what we must learn if we are not familiar with it. We must ask our imams, we must consult the scholars, and that is the path that we need to seek in order to reach our final destination as believers, which is Jannah, which is the paradise. Okay, so this is what we are asking, number one. Number two, what we see from this verse is that there's progression. In any path that you take, there's progression. When I go home tonight again, I need to go past every mile marker and I need to cover a certain amount of miles to get to my destination. So similarly, with our deen, on our journey to get to our destination of Jannah, we need to progress. We need to progress spiritually, we need to progress. We need to make sure that every time we are becoming better when it comes to deen. You shouldn't become satisfied. For example, if we say last year in Ramadan I recited the Quran once, by this Ramadan we should be saying, no, I'm going to recite it twice. And it's a constant journey. It's not Ramadan seasonal only. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us seasons, like Ramadan, in which we can multiply our rewards, but our deen is not seasonal. Our deen is something for life. Neither is our deen limited to the confines of the masjid. Okay? Our deen is something which we practice upon in our life. The Prophet ﷺ has told us how to eat. I mean, there's famous hadith where the Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, they were traveling, they met one ruler, and the ruler in mockery said, oh, you say that your Prophet Muhammad has taught you everything. Has he even taught you how to use the toilet? And the Sahaba replied in the positive, confidently and happily, that yes, he has even told us how to use the toilet. So our deen is a way of life. It's not limited to seasons, neither is it limited to the masajid or only certain places. It's something that we practice all the time. So in this verse, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, we need to become better people, better believers, and better people, better humans. We need to become better for our society. So it's a constant path that we need to work on. So when Ramadan comes, we need to look at it that this Ramadan is an opportunity to boost ourselves to become a better person. So we'll have gradual progress throughout the year. Ramadan is that boost, is that time to refocus us on our intention, our journey of where we are planning to go. And inshallah, if we keep this intention, then we will see that once Ramadan passes, it won't be that we are now not attending the masjid now because Ramadan's gone, I don't need to go to pray now. It doesn't work like that. Or I don't need to attend the masjid as much. Or in Ramadan I made a bit of struggle, it was difficult, but I made it because it was Ramadan. And after Ramadan I can't because of work and whatever, I can't make that struggle. No, we must push ourselves to try to make that struggle. Because at the end of the day, what is it? It's only benefit in it for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also benefit us and reward us for that struggle that we make and that concerted effort that we make to better ourselves as individuals. Now, as I mentioned, or as you may be aware, you may not be aware, that I'm here on behalf of a charity in Leicester, UK registered. We work in the Balkans, in Albania and Kosovo. And these were regions, a lot of the time people ask us, so why don't you work in Syria and Yemen? And every charity that works in those war-torn countries, credit to them, and it's something that's needed. And I would never say to you, only give to us, don't give to them, astaghfirullah. It's something that's important. But the reason that our charity exists and the work that we do is unique in the sense that we are focusing on bringing the Islamic identity back into these people's lives. If you have an Albanian community here, I'm not sure if you have one, you'll see that maybe, they're not too keen on what they eat, what they drink. It's not very Islamic the way they conduct themselves, the way they behave sometimes. But these people are actually most likely Muslim by heritage. The Ottomans, they ruled this time they ruled this area of the Balkans, Albania, Kosovo, this region for over 500 years. And many ulama have come from this region. There's a very famous muhaddith, Sheikh Shu'aib al-Arnaout, who passed away. He was living in Syria. He was Albanian, he was Albani basically. And these people have a very good talent to become very good believers, and when they do accept Islam, they accept it very strongly, mashallah. They put us to shame sometimes. But again, they didn't have that chance, that guidance. They had to live under 47 years of communism post-World War II. And unfortunately, they lost their identity, a generation lost their identity, and that message was lost. And as a charity, when we work there to bring the deen in people's lives and also to help them, because it's a very poor country as well, to help them in poverty relief projects and in bringing the deen back, madrasas and masajid, etc., and schools, then we come to realize how lucky we are here in the UK. We have our masajid, we have our imams. MashaAllah, I was looking at your board just now in the masjid foyer area, and they said that you can actually, they've given you the imam's telephone number. And if I was an imam, I'd say, don't give my telephone number, people are going to be calling me all the time. But subhanAllah, it's written there, you can contact the imam if you have any questions. You have such easy connection to Islam, you have such easy facilities here, and it's something that we need to value, it's something that we need to take care of, because if we value it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us more. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, that when you show gratitude, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase it for you. So similarly, it's not just about saying Jazakallah, Alhamdulillah, and thank you. That's not enough in gratitude. We need to, by action, show gratitude. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us all the ability to take this opportunity of the month of Ramadan to become better people, and inshallah to continue our journey of betterment for the sake of the deen, inshallah. Ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdulillah wahdahu wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dahu. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidun Majid. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم لا أحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه نبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.